Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear grade 12 students, how are you? This is grammar lesson 10, passive. This is part 2. How does the passive paraphrase differ from the original active form? Is it different? No. There is no real difference in meaning. The new passive sentence still means the same thing as the original active sentence. The active sentence is just paraphrased. What has changed is the focus. The passive paraphrase shifts the focus of attention away from the doer of the action to the original object. Look at the example. Anne wrote the final report of the committee. Here, the focus is on the subject, the doer. Who is the doer of this action? Anne. In the second sentence, which is passive, the focus shifts to the object of the original sentence, which became the subject here, the final report of the committee. Here, the focus is on this part. The active sentence focuses on what Anne did. The passive sentence focuses on the final report of the committee. One problem is talking about the meaning of active and passive sentences is that the term subject is confusing. Anne is the grammatical subject of the active sentence, but not of the passive sentence. The grammatical subject of the passive sentence is the noun phrase, the final report of the committee. Even though Anne is still the semantic subject of the sentence, yet that is the doer of the action. Here it is called the agent, as we said. And in the second sentence here, Anne is called the agent. Reasons for deleting the agent. We have 4 reasons. Let's study them. We need to introduce a term that may be new to you, the agent. We already know the agent now. Since the whole point of using the passive is to shift focus away from the agent and focus instead on what was done, why do we even want to keep the agent in the passive sentence as long as we want to focus on the new subject? The answer is that most of the time we do not keep the agent. Studies of written English have shown that the agent is deleted from passive sentences about 85% of the time. So, the main reason the agent is deleted is that the agent is usually one of the following 4 things. Number 1, it is unknown or unknowable. It is impersonal entity or institution or organization. Number 3, universal or highly generalized. This is generalization. Number 4, embarrassing or awkward to reveal. Here are some examples. Number 1, the agent is deleted when it is unknown or unknowable agent. My bike was stolen last night. Who stole it? Unknown. Most diamonds are mined in Africa. Who mines them? Unknowable. Unknown. Impersonal entity or institution. Our flight was just cancelled. Who cancelled it? The organization. She was promoted to regional manager recently. The organization in which she works or for which she works. Number 3, universal or highly generalized agent. World War I has been largely forgotten. Worldwide. Mass transit should be more widely used. Number 4, agent withheld because embarrassing or awkward. Mistakes were made. We were given some bad advice. Here we have some exercises. We are supposed to mention say why the agent is deleted, and we have the 4 reasons we have just discussed. Unknown, impersonal, universal, or agent withheld because embarrassing or awkward. For example, number 1, new guidelines have been used or issued. This is universal or highly, passive should be avoided here. Number 1, new guidelines, yes, have been issued. This is universal. My new cell phone was made in China. Unknown. And so on. Let's move on to the next point. Sorry. It's advisable not to use the passive very often in writing because it becomes pompous and lifeless, like the worst kind of bureaucratic writing. Good writers use the passive form of a sentence when there is a reason for it. A common reason for using the passive is to focus again and again on the new subject, on and expand the object portion of the underlying active sentence rather than the agent. For example, see how Thomas Jefferson, the writer of the Declaration of Independence, one of the most important documents in American history, writes this sentence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, passive, that they are endowed by their creator, another passive verb, with certain unalienable, removable rights. Jefferson could have used the active rather than the passive, but the main focus here is on all men, rather than the creator himself. He thus shifted the sentence into the passive form, and it was necessary here. A good writing practice is to test a passive against its active form to see which one works best. Is the focus on the subject of the active sentence or the focus on the object of the active sentence? If the focus is on the object, so use the passive. Unless there is a good reason to prefer the passive, we should consider rephrasing the sentence in its active form. To do this, we need to be able to consciously convert a passive to its active form. Here is an example. Passive: the proposal was rejected by a slim majority. How to change this into active again? I think we know this stuff. It's very easy. We put the agent at the beginning and we delete by, and then put the new subject yes at the end. So, and put the this verb in the past because we have was here. So a slim majority rejected the proposal. A slim majority rejected the proposal, and this is the active form of this sentence. Here are some steps on how to change from passive into active, and as I said, you can study these examples. They are very easy. This is exercise 10.4. Convert the following passive sentences to their active form. The first question is done as an example. Our lost kitten was soon returned by some neighbors. Some neighbors soon returned our lost kitten. Number 1 here. Several alternative treatments were offered by the doctor. So the answer is the doctor. This is past simple, so it will be the doctor offered several alternative treatments. Number 2, it will be the children had grown the tomatoes in our garden. When we have a perfect tense, we only delete been, it will be active. And do the other steps, of course. Put the agent at the beginning and put the subject here at the end. Number 3, the Chief Justice was administering the oath of office. The oath of office. Number 4, a valuable lesson had been learned. So everyone had learned. We delete been, as I said, if we have a perfect tense. And so I've come to the end of this lesson. Thank you very much.